don't have Steppin with Marcus J. We're back. Appreciate everybody staying with us. Be down with us by phone. Any subject that we talking about, call us up at 804-402-2893. We'll put you right on. We appreciate the love we're getting. The flagship show live from the Den, LegacyInternetRadio.com. Wholly owned and operated by the crew at Aint don't have Steppin with Marcus J. Check us out here Mondays from 7 to 9. Check out our homeboy Steven Sykes, who runs Enliven Radio, on Tuesdays from 7 to 9. The original host of this time slot, Jay Grizzy and Lissa P, with the Green Room version 2.0 with Jay Grizzy and Lissa P on Wednesdays from 7 to 9. And did they just play that? The music only show featuring hip hop, R&B, soul, pop, jazz, reggae, rock, whatever you want to hear. You give us some stuff that you want to hear, we'll play it. Otherwise, we're going to just run some music Thursday nights and Saturday nights right here exclusively on LegacyInternetRadio.com. You can check us out on MixLR for this show only. And we appreciate the people that's listening to us there on MixLR. You can check us out, of course, on your mobile phone. If you got an Android phone, download Winamp and then go into Shoutcast. Have to be during the time where we're broadcasting live. Type in Legacy Internet Radio. You'll find us. If you've got an iPhone, all you got to do is download Shoutcast directly and find Legacy Internet Radio. And then you can carry us in your pocket, in your car, wherever you at. Legacy Internet Radio is with you. We appreciate the love we get. And again, call us up. Be down with us at 804-402-2893. So what I want to do now is I want to kind of transition to what the hell. And for those new listeners who are listening to us for the very first time on Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J, what the hell is a segment that we about to go into? And what the hell is a segment where we give you a situation or a story that we found out on the web or in the news or whatever, and when you hear the story, it makes you say, for real, yo, what the hell is going on with these people? What the hell? So that's what we're going to talk about. And the first thing we're going to get into is the Billboard Awards from last night. And I'm going to start with Ms. Fawn. We know that you didn't watch it too much, but we did show you the video before we got on the air. And I'm going to dispense with all the pleasantries. I'm just going to come right out with it. LeBron dropped the leg. Not LeBron. We're still thinking about basketball. I'm still thinking about basketball.
That's what you're going to do.
Yeah. Miguel dropped a leg on the girl last night. Miguel, the singer, he trying to be cool and sexy and all that kind of stuff. And he runs from where he was standing on the stage, and he jumps over part of the stage, trying to land on the other side of the stage, and he ends up doing the Hulk Hogan leg drop on a fan in the audience. Now, you didn't see it last night, but you have since seen it. What's your thoughts? I mean, I don't know if you.
What the hell?
What the hell? I don't know if you're a fan of Miguel.
I am.
You are a fan of Miguel. Okay, so as a fan of Miguel, why don't you tell me what your thoughts is? Obviously, it's what the hell, but please expand on that.
Oh my goodness, I know she has a terrible headache right about now, but what the hell?
What the hell?
It's just, I don't know what else to say.
What was he thinking? Big Rule, when you watched it, I know you saw the clip. I don't know if you were watching it live, but I mean, you know, as I'm a rock fan, I love rock music. I know you like rock music, so we've seen people do, I guess the dive into the crowd, but he wasn't trying to do that. He was trying to jump to the other side of the stage. What the hell, man? What's your thoughts, Big Rule?
I mean, you know, he hit him with a Hulk Hogan leg drop, yo. And the greatest thing about that is he got up and started singing after. I mean, he hit it with the joint. He should have just went on Pender, but he got up and started singing. It was like everything was good, and I was on the floor.
Oh, did you say Penner?
Yeah, he should have been. He should have went on Pender. He'd have won the championship, and then he would have went home and started singing. Cause yo, she ain't getting up from that. And if you notice, you ain't see her no more after that either.
No, because she was in the back talking to Marks and Harrison.
That's right.
Let's settle this one.
Oh man,
for those who don't know, that's a local law firm here in Richmond.
She's about to get some serious backstage passes.
I think I just paid.
And maybe dinner with him.
I gave them some love without them paying us. Oh yeah. Oh, there's no way that I'm not getting some money from that. Carlton Banks. When you saw it, what was your initial thought? Did you think Hulk Hogan is dropping it on the Macho Man Randy Savage, or did you think Miguel just made a bad decision?
Fatality. In case you didn't hear it.
I didn't hear it, but fatality. For those fans of Mortal Kombat, that was fatality.
He did acknowledge that he did something wrong because he reached back and looking at the tape, he hugged the wrong girl because the other girl just basically disappeared. You ain't see her ever again on the site. I mean, that's incredible. That's incredible, crazy, and for him to take that risk is stupid on his behalf. I mean, this isn't a true rock concert where people body surf and whatnot and that kind of stuff. But like you said, I thought he came off the top rope for sure. Who comes off the top rope? Macho Man.
Ooh, yeah. Time to get a gym.
I mean, it's crazy. JR, what's your thoughts?
Hey, look, one phrase sums it all up, and that's what you gonna do, brother? Because she got her head taken clean, smooth off, like Pinky say. Head smooth off.
Pinky?
He came from across the other side of the earth.
He said, Pinky, we know what you
yes,
like.
right.
We know what you like.
You gonna burn my Pinky shirt? No, but he came from across the other side of the earth and leg dropped her head to the back of the stage.
All right, JR, for those people, they hear us kind of giving our commentary of it, but for those people who didn't see it, really, really quickly in 2 sentences, why don't you sum up exactly what happened?
What the hell? But leg drop, picture your leg going around somebody's head, and then that joint just being slammed against the other end of a nutcracker. That bust her hurt. Man, her head is swollen.
So basically,
anybody see Martin head after he fought Hearns?
Yeah.
No, imagine
that's
yourself. Really, imagine yourself sitting at the kitchen table eating a tuna fish sandwich, and somebody just come out of nowhere and dropping a leg on your chest.
Basically,
that's what it is.
Basically, what happened was you had Miguel, the singer, singing on stage. He's feeling his song. He wants to leap over part of the stage to the other side of the stage. He obviously doesn't jump far enough, and he lands on a fan in the crowd. And it looked pretty, you know, we're making a joke about it, but it looked like it was pretty, you know,
it
looked like he hurt her pretty good. And there's a lot of photoshops going on online where, you know, they're comparing it to the Hulk Hogan leg drop, because damn it, that's what it looked like. It looked like the Hulk Hogan leg drop. Big Roo, let's move on to some other stuff of the Billboard Awards. The one thing, and JR and I have been talking about this for the better part of the day, and I'm gonna come back to him on this one. I want him on this one last, right before I speak. But and this is when I turned it off, because I didn't see the Miguel thing until this morning on YouTube, because I turned it off. But one of the first things that I saw was the best rap artist category, and you had Nicki Minaj, Flo Rida, Pitbull, Drake, and some acronym for some freaking group I never heard of before. And Nicki Minaj ends up winning. And JR and I had some discussion about it. Like I said, I'll bring him back in later on. But what's your thoughts on that? When I name those names for best hip-hop artists, whether it be Billboards, Grammys, you know, whatever the organization's giving the awards, what's your thoughts, man?
It's a sorry year in hip-hop. I mean, really. And let's just be honest. Let's put everything out on the table. Nicki Minaj is no longer a hip-hop artist. She is a pop artist, and I'm cool with that. And she should be cool with that because it's allowing her to get paid. Now, hip-hop, first of all, you said Miguel, best hip-hop artist? The Billboard don't know what's going on.
Nicki Minaj, best hip-hop. We moved on from Miguel, man. Keep up.
I mean, who'd you say who in the list of people for best hip-hop artist?
Nicki Minaj wins.
Yeah.
Flo Rida, Pitbull, Drake, and some freaking acronym. I don't know what the hell, who these people were.
ASAP? Rocky?
I don't know. Elemental P. I don't freaking know.
I mean, hip-hop was kind of terrible last year. I mean, because it's from March to March. So, I mean, hip-hop wasn't that great last year. You know, honestly. I mean, if you want to say who's the best, Nicki Minaj is the only one who was consistent. I mean, that's about it. I'm not saying it was great, but the people you just listed, I mean, the only other person who I could have even remotely thought about could have been up, who could have won, would have been Drake. And To be perfectly honest with you, they're all terrible. So nobody really cares.
Colin Banks, let me ask you a question. I know that you you love music, but you're not a hip hop head like I am, like JR is. But I'll ask you the question: have you ever bought a record by Drake, Flo Rida, Nicki Minaj, or Pitbull?
Nope.
Do you know anybody who has ever bought a record by Drake, Flo Rida, Pitbull, or Nicki Minaj?
I'm sure I do. However, I don't know who they are.
No, you don't know who they are. Okay, so as a fan of the golden age of hip hop, because
that.
I know that you are a fan of at least of that era, when you see these award shows, and those of us who could care less about who the award show is, all we see is these people getting awards. But I don't care if it's Grammy, Billboard, whoever they are. When you see Nicki Minaj getting Best Rap Artist, do you have a little bit of problem with that? I do, and I don't want to put words in your mouth. But do you have a problem with Nicki Minaj getting Best Rap Album in anybody's award show?
The problem comes down into who or what is defined as rap. To me, rap was the epitome of rhyming convention and telling a story at the same time. Now you got people just giving lyrics up and they're telling a story, but there's no rhyming in it. To my opinion. Nicki's claim to fame is a fake booty and just being on a pop scene and influencing little girls to be dressed kind of provocatively and things of that nature. Drake, okay, who is Drake? Drake again is who? What?
Jimmy.
Jay. I'm gonna give a couple of shout outs real quick. My main man Terry representing down Jersey City's own, living in Delaware, who's hitting us up. He's asking what the hell was Miguel thinking. That did look like some WWF stuff, and I agree with him there.
WWE.
Author, he says F, but I understand.
We gotta be correct.
I ain't gotta be correct. This is somebody who ain't watched wrestling in 20 years. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. But Colin Banks, I appreciate making sure we don't get sued. Author Charisma, I'm sorry. We got a couple of authors listening to us. Dating Pool Diva is saying that Miguel, I won't read exactly what she says, but she's a fan of Miguel. She's just saying, don't jump on my head. Ain't no Steppin Marcus. JR, you and I have been having a conversation with regards to hip hop for the better part of most of today. And we invoked some other names, some people that we have been missing in hip hop for the last I don't know, a few years at least. And when I saw Nicki Minaj winning back Best Rap Artist, I don't know about you, but I was highly offended as a fan of the original golden era of hip hop. So why don't you tell me your version of what we talked about early on today? Why don't you share with the listeners before you do that? If you got anything that you want to get in on this, call us at 804-402-2893.
Yeah, look, Nicki Minaj, they could have put best female rap artist through her in there and just gave it to her just because ain't nobody else really doing nothing. But best rap artist, last I checked, Nas had an album out last year.
Didn't make no money.
The album was nice.
Didn't make no money.
It don't matter. Like, we're talking about best rap artist. It doesn't say this year's best selling rap artist. It says best rap artist. The lyrics on Nas's last album, I'm not gonna say the name because I don't need to promote it, but better. Okay. Now, as far as Drake being in the category and even Nicki being in the category, I mean, she can spit. I ain't mad at her. She can do that, but her songs don't translate. Cassidy, he's somebody that can spit. Can't make a good song. What? Freeway, spit, not a good song. These are all better rap artists than Nicki Minaj. Flo Rida's not even a rap artist. Like, Flo Rida is a techno pop dance trance with a splash of like rhyming. He's as much a hip hop artist as
you lost me.
All right, well, Big Group, why don't you share us what your thoughts are?
First of all,
if you disagree,
I disagree because Flo Rida was a rapper before he decided to experiment and decided to reach out and make more money. In the quote unquote crossover, as they say. First of all, Nas
he crossed over and never went back.
Let's just be real about this. This is the Billboard Music Awards. So the top 5 people who got who had to be voted on are the top 5 Billboard charters. It's all about charting on the Billboard. Nas, like you said, Nas came out. He sure did, and he had 2 videos, and you haven't heard from him in like 6 months. You know, he may have had a great album, but he ain't make no money. You know, Freeway ain't make no money. You know, all the people you name maybe had good albums, but they ain't sell. And if you don't sell, you don't get on Billboard.
And they need to change it to best-selling rap artists.
Man, Billboard can do what they want. But
Billboard still shouldn't be in the conversation.
Billboard, but Flo Rida sold more than all those cats. I mean, you could call Flo Rida what you want, but he is hip hop. And hip hop doesn't necessarily have to be, hey, I'm rapping over a beat.
Well, let me ask you this, Rube. Let me ask you this. Does it make you a good hip hop artist because you sold a lot of records, or does it make you a good rap artist because you sold a lot of records? Because in my opinion, and the opinion of most people who are into the culture of hip hop, there is a very distinct difference.
Correct. But once again, we're looking at this is not the American Music Awards. This is not the Grammys. This is not the Oscars. This is the Billboard Music Awards. Billboard does everything based off of Billboard numbers. Basically, so yes, if you want to say yes, it's a top selling rap artist, then so be it. But that's understood because it's Billboard. The only awards that are different are the ones that people vote on. Everything else is done completely by Billboard numbers. That's it. I mean, it doesn't make Nicki Minaj. Is she best hip hop of the year? Hell no. She's pretty terrible in that. But Nicki Minaj sold more than everybody else, and that's what it's about.
I guess you know what kind of confuses the issue is the fact that people are selling records, even though those of us hip hop purists think they full of it. You know what I mean? Like, there are no people who won the hip hop awards in Grammys, Billboards, or anything in the last few years that I hold any credibility with regards to them as hip hop artists. And when I look at people like, you know, Nas, or I look at somebody like Mos Def, Talib Kweli, you know, when I look at people like that, and I'm like, yo, that's like real hip hop. But then I see Nicki Minaj win an award, or I see people clamoring for Lil Wayne. Like seriously, I want to throw up in my mouth a little bit for real.
You know whose fault that is?
Well, I said this earlier on Facebook, and I don't want to spend a lot of time on it now. Let me just say this, Big Rube. I'm gonna have you respond, and then let's move on from this. But the reality of it is that hip hop is a vehicle that people who have a lot of money can reach young people. And because they can reach young people, they can put stuff in their mind at a very young age. So instead of putting knowledge and education and advancement and things like that in their mind, they made a conscious decision early in the 90s to put nonsense in their mind, to put drama in their mind, to put violence in their mind, to put misogyny in their mind, things of that sort. So when you had groups like Public Enemy and Boogie Down Productions and Brand Nubian and things like that, or Jungle Brothers, who perpetuated positivity, when you had the late 80s and early 90s, when you had diverse groups who had all kinds of positivity, but then you also had, you know, Two Live Crew and NWA peppered in there, but you had diversity, you had choices, things of that sort. Whereas now, everybody got their pants off their ass. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's smoking weed, and everybody is sipping freaking scissor and driving around in a car that they rented for their video. We know that ain't yours, punk. So all of this nonsense going on, these kids is looking at that and thinking that's what we need to do. And so when you see a 12-year-old walking in the mall with his pants off his ass, you looking at this dude like you kind of want to give him a wedgie just so that you can put his pants up. You know what I'm saying? So this is the music that I hold so close and so dear to me, and it frustrates me. It drives me crazy because I remember when you had cats singing white lines. He's telling you don't smoke, don't sniff coke. You know what I'm saying? You had, you know, self-destruction. You know what I'm saying? You had Black Steel in the Hour Chaos where they like, yo, you in jail, but you better figure out a way to get out of there because you don't belong there. You had real hip hop, whereas now you got Nicki Minaj winning Best Rap Artist. So when you got cats like me who are the youngest of the original hip hop generation, you got to understand why we a little bit annoyed by it. I mean, and you're the same age as me, Rube. Help me out. Help me understand this here.
I'm gonna be real, and a lot of people can't take real, but I'm gonna be real. We failed our generation behind us. That's what it's about. The reason why we failed them is because sometime, whatever happened, we stopped buying positive music. We stopped going and spending our money for positive music. We stopped going to concerts. We stopped promoting positive music. And when we stopped promoting positive music, then what happens is you got all this garbage like Lil Wayne coming in here and, I mean, doing whatever he wants to do, basically. You know, Nicki Minaj, you know, I'm not too mad at her because my thing is she built herself as a crossover artist, and I can live with that because it's one of those things where she doesn't promote a whole lot of negativity, but she promotes enough positivity and party music till I can tolerate it, you know. But when it's all said and done, it's our fault because for whatever reason we just stopped buying the good music. So if you stop buying the good music, we stop paying, you know, they stop putting it out, and we allow our kids to buy this garbage. We allow our kids to watch this garbage and not explain to them, yo, this S ain't real and you need to get yourself together. So when it's all said and done, we can be mad at it, but it's ultimately our fault. And until we decide that we want to promote positive music and we want to buy positive music, it's gonna stay this way.
You know, how Steppin Marcus. Yeah, I definitely agree with you, and I'm looking at some of the comments that we're getting from the folks here on the fan page of Ain't No Half Steppin with Marcus J, as well as on MixLR. We got my man Terry who said he agrees with me. Rap these days is just that and not hip hop. Hip hop is the culture, goes beyond the watered down stuff that we hear now. And he barely listens to, and he puts in air quotes, rap these days. And I agree with you, man. You know, people of our general age group, you know, we do remember how it used to be. So we may be, you know, a little bit more steadfast in our wish that it was a little bit different. Dating Pool Diva's listening to it. She says she misses the old music. Feelings are hurt listening to this mess now, and that is with the kids. You know, they're missing the real music with real substance. She misses groups like KRS-One, Public Enemy, Mos Def, Talib Kweli, etc. I guess rap encompasses any kind of crap and is different genre from hip hop. By the way, she's a fan of Nas from back in the day. Ain't No Half Steppin with Marcus J. And Desiree Monique, the author as well. She was loving the music that we was playing earlier when we was playing Fight the Power with Public Enemy earlier on. So we definitely appreciate the fan interaction that we're getting on MixLR as well as on the Ain't No Half Steppin with Marcus J fan page on the Facebook page. So thank you so much for everybody listening. Continue to hit us up on those various locations. We can be reached on on your cell phones as well as on the computer. Call us up if you want to be verbally in the studio with us at 804-402-2893. We want to move away from the Billboard Awards. A couple of quick things I want to get to in this segment before we move on to the rest of What the Hell. But before I do that, Big Rube has a couple of things that he wants to share with regards to the Billboard Awards. Big Rube, you had told me earlier that there were a couple of things that caught your eye in the Billboard Awards. Real quick, why don't you share with us?
I didn't realize they allowed lap dances on TV now, because that Lil Wayne, Nicki Minaj whole thing basically culminated in Nicki Minaj wearing something tighter than paint and twerking on the stage, and then it concluded itself with her putting Lil Wayne in the chair. Actually, Lil Wayne went to the chair, and then she proceeded to give him a small, well, I guess you can't really be small with Nicki Minaj's booty, lap dance on the stage. And I just didn't understand when we became so desensitized to clear,
Since nipple.
Let me.
I mean, clear pornography.
Hold on. Did you complain when Destiny's Child came out with Beyonce and did the same thing to Terrence Howard?
I ain't never complained in regards to
you did?
Child, ever.
I mean, on TV?
Yes, on TV.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You complain.
If it's on HBO, if it's on HBO, I don't care. It should not be on national public television.
You complain.
You obviously ain't never seen an episode of Scandal.
Right, yeah. You don't see a Scandal.
Which goes to my point.
It came on after 10. Your WWE wrestling does the same thing, but it comes on after 10.
Once again,
after 10 o'clock.
That just proves my point.
Okay, but hold on. You support WWE, do you not? Do you support? Let me not call them out.
Hold on, man. Hold on. Can I finish talking?
Not to you.
That does not mean I support lap dances on TV.
Do you support wrestling?
If lap dances on, first of all, if that's cable television, completely different. This is national TV where you don't have to pay. All you have to do is have a little antenna and you can watch it. And let's just be, if you want to be real about it, kids don't go to bed at 8 o'clock no more. Kids go to bed when they feel like, because their parents choose for them to go to bed when they feel like it. I don't even care. This is public TV. ABC, CBS, NBC.
That's where it starts at.
That's where it starts.
Yeah. It's not Nicki Minaj. It's the perm.
But my thing is, we sit here and, Banks has just sat here and told me 3 things that we see on public television, and you are already accepting the fact that that's okay. We have become desensitized to stupidity. And you should not be able to see a half a lap dance on national television. If it's on cable, if it's on HBO, I'm completely cool with it. And you said stuff on Scandal, I don't care if it is 10 o'clock, man. Kids are still up, and it should not be on television like that.
Okay.
If you want Scandal, if you want to see that, put Scandal on USA.
First of all, USA shouldn't even be a cable channel. That should be a regular channel, just like NBC, ABC, and CBS. Hey, that's because the networks make you pay to have it. Nothing comes on USA that doesn't come on regular TV.
If you say you shouldn't have to see that on TV, and if they want to do it on cable, shouldn't you have more say with cable, because you actually have to put money in the cable? So wouldn't you be more offended to see something like that on something you have to pay for versus something that's just given to you for free?
But you choose to make that choice to pay for cable. You don't have to have cable, and that's my point.
But you don't have to.
You have to have network TV.
You could have saw it and just went boop. They got settings now, TV 14. If it's higher than what you think might be appropriate for somebody watching.
And what was the rating on the Billboard Music Awards?
Excuse me?
What was the rating on the Billboard Music Awards?
We'll find out eventually. I don't think anybody knows.
I mean, exactly, and that's the point. It could have been rated G, far as we know. It could have been rated PG. But my point is, y'all defending it, which means you have
defending. I'm just kind of saying you can watch or not watch.
But that's not the point. On free television, we should not have things such as that on there, because we sit here and we can sit here and say, well, you can turn TV off, or you can make your kid go to bed, or whatever. But let's just be honest. Family Guy comes on at 6 o'clock. We can talk all day about all the dirty stuff on Family Guy.
We could.
6 o'clock, 5 o'clock.
What I don't want to do is turn this into a discussion about censorship on television based upon what it is and what time it is, because that's another discussion and we could take forever to do that.
Yes.
While I agree with you, Big Rube, that suggestive lap dance is while I love a lap dance, it's very nice. I enjoy it. A booty on my lap is always a good thing. The fact that it's on television for my daughter to see, I don't need her to see anybody getting a lap dance until she's old enough to be married.
And that's my point.
So I understand where you're coming from, but I mean, it's one of those things where we while I would love to discuss it more, we just don't have the time to talk more about it. And just to address where you're coming from, I agree that it's a bit much, but I also think that the reality of where we are right now is that television, they wild the hell out. They just do. And it ain't just cable, it ain't just Scandal. You're going to see some stuff that you probably shouldn't see, on TV. Like I watch, TNT. TNT is one of my channels because I like the crime dramas and the dramas and stuff like that. They say the S word all the time. The S word that I said a couple of times in the first segment. Right. They say that on that channel all the time. I remember a few years ago, even on cable, they wouldn't. Well, on pay cable, not premium. They wouldn't use that word. Well, the times are changing, Carlton. They wouldn't actually use those kinds of words. So the point that I'm making is that the times are changing. Not that I necessarily agree with it, but the reality is That's the way the world is going.
There was an ABC show that was using adult language. Okay, it was a cop show.
You talking about NYPD Blue? They showed butts, but they didn't use bad language.
Yeah, they did.
I don't remember them using bad language.
And then even still, if you go to looking at shows like The Shield.
Well, The Shield is on cable.
Okay, you're right, but they were using the language.
Yeah, that's cable.
That's on cable.
That's on
Okay,
cable.
that's okay, but still, it's not that premium network.
It is.
But I'm not talking-
It's on paid cable.
But I'm not talking about something you pay for. If you have a television antenna, you can get an ABC, CBS, and NBC. My point is that we need to take control of what we allow on television these days, because that's why our society is so jacked up, because they push the button and push the button, and we as people have allowed that to happen. And the only way we can fix that is we need to take a stand. I'm not saying we need to do it. We need to do some, $10,000 sign on Facebook or nothing. I'm just saying that, look, you want to hit them where it hurts, you turn off the television. You don't watch it.
Here's the reality. We live in a country, we live in a world where we sit around and we wait for other people to tell us what we should be mad about, what we should be outraged about. They told us that we was supposed to be mad that Justin Timberlake exposed Janet Jackson's breast while we watched her take the brunt of it. He didn't get in trouble at all, even though he was the one that flipped the boob out. You know what I mean? Like, we sit around and we wait for other people to tell us what we should be outraged about. That's the world we live in. So I'm 100%, which is a rarity, and I'm like in hives right now because I'm actually agreeing with Big Roo. But the reality is that's the world that we live in. When we live in a world where we can't see lap dances on television, then things would be different. But you got to also remember 30 years ago, we had Archie Bunker saying words on television that they won't say on TV now. So, I don't know where things are going. They might have dropped the N-bomb on television, but it was only dropped, by by black people.
On paid cable, you may hear words like that.
You may hear words like that, but let's move on, because we gotta. I think we kind of understand each other on this one, and we got a lot to get to. A couple of quick things I want to get to in this segment before we take a break. I want to come to you on this one, Fawn, first. As a lady in the room, Angelina Jolie has recently announced that she was 87% possible to have breast cancer, and I guess there was a mutation inside of her body. Her mom died of breast cancer. As a woman, what do you feel about the fact that she took what some would call the radical step of having a double mastectomy without actually having cancer, but doing it in a preventative way?
I would have did the same thing. I really would. I would have done the same thing. It's a scary thing. And just to think about it, it's real scary. So, but yeah.
So you
I would
think,
have, especially if her mother had it and passed away from it, So.
It's funny because, we're all guys here, but for you. And, if any, ladies are listening to us on MixLR and Charisma, I see your note out there with regards to the question you're asking. She's asking what if it had been X-rated stuff going on with regards to what we were just talking about. I think it's a no-brainer. I don't think any of us want to see X-rated stuff on the television, with regards to it being on free TV. So
I have no problem with that.
I'm going to speak for the crew and say we don't want to see X-rated stuff, but if you're going to pay for it, then that's different. But as far as the breast cancer thing, ladies, I want to get your opinion on this. If you're listening, hit us on the Facebook page, hit us on the MixLR page, call us up 804-402-2893. I spoke with Mrs. J with regards to this, and Mrs. J was adamant that she did not agree with the decision that Angelina Jolie has taken with regards to doing the double mastectomy. She would much prefer to know that she's dealing with the situation as opposed to removing her breast in a preventative nature. I got a personal friend who I will not call out publicly, because we had this conversation in a private conversation, but I will share the conversation without revealing her. She told me that she had the same test that Angelina Jolie had, and Angelina is 87%. My friend is 90%. And my friend told me that she had this test done when she was in her 20s. She is now in her late 30s. She has no trace of cancer in her body, and she tests herself, or she has herself tested regularly. So JR, I ask you your personal opinion, and it does seem awkward, and with respect to our female listeners, we understand as guys we don't have the kind of perspective that you will have, because some women view their sexuality and is wrapped up in things like their hair, their breast, things of that sort, and we want to be sensitive to that while at the same time having a fair dialogue. And with the lady in the room, I hope that you will put us in our place if we do cross the line here.
I believe I will.
I believe that you will. So I want to be respectful with regards to this. But JR, what's your thoughts on the decision that Angelina made?
My grandmother had breast cancer, and she survived it with both intact. But just the thought, of a lady that was responsible for like 80% of my trips as a kid, various beaches and things like that, fishing trips. The thought of her dying, it's just as rough as the thought of my parents dying. And to me, I could understand, like fear could take a hold of people, and nobody wants to face down something like that. So while I think it's a little bit drastic, I do understand. I do understand from just having a relative with it and the perspective of death. I do understand. And plus, she got money. She could get implants. And
so do you
surgery.
think, JR, I'm gonna ask you this question, and I'm gonna get Fawn on this one too. I put you on the spot on this for JR. You first, so you can have a chance, Fawn, to think about the question. And I hope, again, I want to be sensitive to this with regards to any of the ladies that are listening. Before I ask the question, I'll share the dating pool diva is listening. She says that she thinks that it's too drastic a step to remove your breast based on the doctor's advice, not the actual disease. I 100% agree with her on that one. But JR, I'm gonna ask you this, and then Fawn, I want you to follow up with him on this one. Do you think the fact that Jolie, not that she's famous, forget she's famous, forget that we know who she is, but let's say because she has the financial resources to, kind of alluding to what you just said, do you think the fact that she got money to potentially cosmetically re-enhance herself, do you think that may have fallen into her decision to remove her natural breasts because she knows that she could potentially reestablish, again, trying to be respectful here, breasts that are not natural? And before, again, ladies, if you're listening, you want to be down, if you think we tripping, or if you want to contribute, call us at 804-402-2893, JR.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a possibility. When you first mentioned this article, I remember checking it out, and I remember when I checked it out, I was thinking, she's famous, she's a celebrity. No publicity is bad publicity for them, and not to say that she would do that, but I don't put it past any human, to do something of that nature. The closest thing I can think of as a man would be testicular cancer, and I'm not cutting them off for no 80% chance. You don't get those back. Like
right.
you can do augmented breasts, and guys will love it. And she could be happy like that, but I think the money that she got though, or that she possibly could get, she would be, I don't think it's far fetched to say that she probably could have did that.
S.Y. Butler's hitting us up saying that it's a hard decision. She would think she would rather know for sure before making that drastic move. Fine.
I feel that being a woman, I would have did the same thing, and I don't think she's looking at it that they can be replaced, because they do that all the time. Even if she didn't even think that she might have breast cancer, if one day she woke up and she said, I just want to have bigger boobs, she would have went and got it done. But she feel like she's in this, right now she's with the man that she loved, they got the kids, she's content.
Right. So
I don't think it's anything about having boobs. It's not, it's within her.
Do you think that as men, and again, I'm trying hard to be respectful here, do you think that is the superficial man thought where we are, not just the guys in this room, but just men in general who are hearing this story, do you think is for us about the cosmetic, seeing the breast and seeing the fact that some of us equate female sexuality with breast? Because I can tell you that I've spoken with at least 2 females who have a lot of their sexuality that is largely wrapped up in their breasts, who I've had the conversation with regards to this story, and they told me directly from their own mouths, and as a man, I agree with them because I feel the same way, but they told me I can't do it because part of my female personality is wrapped up in the fact that I have breasts. You know what I'm saying? So what are your thoughts with regards to as a woman?
I think when you reach a certain age in your life, you think about more of your health.
Okay.
Than how you know your appearance as far as with your breasts, and I that's my opinion about it. I wouldn't even worry about if it's gonna help me live another 20 years. Take mine.
Right.
So and it depends, like the age. I think it has something to do with the age.
No.
Of course, if you ask a 25-year-old that question, no,
right.
I want my boobs. But if you ask somebody that's 50-something,
might be a little bit different. Yeah. And that's a very good point. I'm glad you brought that up. Simone 716 is hitting up on MixLR saying perhaps her choice was not a selfish reason. Perhaps it had to do with the fact that there was an 87 chance to not see her children grow up. Big Rube, you haven't gotten in on this one. What's your thoughts, brother?
My thought is that I had an aunt who survived breast cancer. My thought is it's completely her decision. I do not have an opinion, yes or no, on it, because when it's all said and done, I am personally not living with the disease itself in my body, and it's her body, and she can choose to do what she wants to do with it. If she wants to take them off or whatever, that's fine. I mean, that's her. And for me to even sit here to give an opinion about what I think she should do or any woman should do is just flat out wrong. That's not my body, It's not how I roll. So my thing is, if she wants to do that, that's good for her, man. I mean, she does what she wants to do.
Right.
I'm not going to sit here and say, well, she should do it or shouldn't do it. Nope, it's her body.
Yeah.
She does what she wants. I'm pretty sure she had a talk with Brad about it, and Brad's probably like, yo, baby, I'd rather have you than anything else. So, of course, as a husband that he is, he's going to support his wife regardless of what she chooses to do.
That's why I was agreeing with you, Fawn. She's saying the older you get, the more your health becomes a factor. So she's listening on MixLR and she agrees with you. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. I want to kind of transition to the last story that I want to do in this segment before we move on to the rest of What the Hell, take a break, and then we do that. This one, I guess this one is kind of serious, but not as serious as what we just came out of. This one is about a woman who got arrested for making late payments on a washer and dryer. Fawn, I want to come to you on this one first. She's a debtor, of course. She owed Aaron's. Aaron's is a renter of appliances and furniture and things of that sort. And there's a lot to this article. Unfortunately, I can't read it all. The article comes from TechieVille.com, but essentially this woman who doesn't want to be identified says that she couldn't make the payments on the washer and dryer that she bought from Aaron's, and they had her arrested. Quote, they should think the consequences is going to have on your life and your family. She also says that she knows she fell behind, accepts responsibility. The one thing she says she didn't deserve was to be taken to jail over something like a late payment. When she offered to give the appliances back, the company refused to take them. That's when she was hauled off to jail. So as a sister, I'm going to ask you what your opinion is on some kind of nonsensical, crazy ass story is this, because judging by how I set it up, throwing it to you, you can guess what my thought is on this.
Sister, I'm gonna keep it real.
Please, that's what we're doing.
She went off.
Yeah, because we don't half step on, ain't no half stepping.
She went off on them.
So you think you think they locked her up because she wilded out in the store?
She just, you ain't taking this washer and dryer. She went off on them. So no,
It was more about her not.
And she had the money. And did she have the money, or she told him to take the wash and dryer back?
She probably.
Come on now.
I mean, Aaron's released a statement on the matter, saying, "quote Aaron's Aint cares about our customers, and for 58 years has been building solid relationships with our customers and community. Our culture is to work with each and every one of our customers to ensure that every effort is made to bring them to full lease ownership of our products. We cannot comment on specific customer situations, but we do work diligently with our customers and who undergo exceptional efforts, fostering communication with them to understand individual situations." So, Carlton, I'm gonna come to you on this one. The attorney says that they told her that she was lying. They know the TV was in my home. But her attorney is saying that this is a civil matter, not a criminal matter. Carlton Banks, when you hear the story as I've laid it out, what's your initial thoughts on this, bro?
She was on the wrong show. She should have been on Hardcore Pawn opposed to anything else, because that's what she was. She went in the store, she acted a fool, and they called the cops on her ass. I mean, like I know. But see, in all respect, any company does not want bad publicity. We've done or set up, and Ruben included, we've done jobs where people had to do a voluntary surrender on their merchandise. And the funny part of that, one story was the customer left their chicken dinner in the oven, and we took the chicken dinner with the oven. We gave that woman a gift card back to the store. After she owed us money, we gave her money to go back to the store because we didn't want bad publicity.
What's crazy about this, Carlton? I'm gonna go to Jay on this one, but what's funny? Apparently, she's saying that the TV was defective, which was part of the reason why she didn't pay. She told the company they refused to replace it, but they still demanded the payments anyway. And the crazy thing about it is when you rent from companies like that, it's kind of similar, JR, to these car loan quickie places that they have.
Bad credit.
These places at Aaron's. I mean, when I was in college, I didn't rent from them, but I rented from a company similar to them. And many of those people, of course, based on this article, are black folk and low income folk. She called the company to tell them that the TV also was stolen. They told her that she was lying. There's a lot going on with the story here, but ultimately, my personal opinion is her going to jail for not paying them is a bit excessive. What are your thoughts?
The headline that she went to jail for not paying them, I think that isn't something that should happen. I don't care if you didn't pay for it. If you have the ability to give the merchandise back, that should be that. Having said that, an own experience of mine, I was in a retail store. I won't say the name of the store, but I was in a retail store. I had brought my sister a MP3 player for graduation, and be honest with you, she broke it. She messed it up. But the people at the store don't know that. So I go in the store and I tell them, I paid with a card, but I don't have the receipt or whatever. So still supposed to do an exchange. I pay with a card. They should be able to look me up in the system. So they're not able to do that. So I kind of get a little hot. I want to speak to somebody. So we end up exchanging a few words, me and this young lady at the counter, and they end up asking me to leave. So me knowing that I'm a black dude in a department store in the nice side of town, I need to just go ahead and leave and do what most people do, and that's call home office. She didn't call home office. That was her problem. She went back at them, and they carted her off. They rude.
Yo, she went to jail for not paying her bills, man. I mean, the sad thing about it is that's the way it's going down these days. I mean, you don't pay, you go to jail. I mean, whether it's child support, whether it's taxes, or whether it's paying on that TV that you got for Aaron. When it's all said and done, if you don't pay, you go to jail. Do I agree with it? Nah, not necessarily. I guess the biggest question is, it doesn't really say why she went to jail specifically. Now, if she went to jail because she was resisting or she put her hands on them, completely different story.
The article doesn't allude to that, and Ruben, I had the same question with a friend of mine who may not be listening, my friend Rock. I hope you're listening, Rock, because she and I had that conversation this weekend. We agreed that there's a whole lot missing from this story.
Oh, yeah.
I think that there's stuff missing from this article. You know, the fact that they throw in that she's a black woman, I don't think that that's relevant. I think what's relevant is the fact that she went to jail for not paying a bill. That's the byline here. And I think there's more to it. I don't think that the story should have come out with the byline of a person, whether it's a black woman, which you got to read the article to see that it's a sister. But the fact that anybody goes to jail for not paying the bill, I think that's some old bull. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. We're going to take another break, y'all. We're going to go ahead and get into the rest of what the hell. We got what the hell for the rest of the hour. Before I do that, quick comment. We got Dating Pool Diva alluding to the last story. She's saying that health is important to her. She would fear the surgery more than the possibility of being at risk for breast cancer. Would make some changes in diet, health, and things of that sort before she went and had a double mastectomy. I absolutely agree with you, Dating Pool Diva, and I know that Mrs. J does as well, because we have discussed it. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we got some more what the hell. We're going to ask about the resurrection in Africa, y'all. That one's a crazy one. Marcus J. Ain't no half stepping. Live from the den, we got Big Rube, JR, Miss Fawn, and Carl Banks in the studio with us. We'll be back in a few.